right, Addie. I have no idea what's coming with science this week. Good, bad, hopeful, hopeless. I don't know. So you get to surprise me here today.
Okay, well, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit of both.
I like it.
So let's go. The EPA lives. Well, sort of. The Trump administration seems committed to protecting against the dangerous forever chemicals PFAS, though exactly how, after cutting grants, 65% of their budget, and eliminating their research arm, remains to be seen.
Mm.
A clinical trial in 103 cancer patients showed promising new results. Researchers administered an immunotherapy drug on its own, and 84 patients saw their cancers vanish. This represents a
Mm.
limited number of types of cancer, and insurance hurdles exist, but it's a start. Researchers working on the government's flagship report on how climate change is affecting the U.S. have been dismissed. The report has been required by Congress since the year 2000. Our lack of fur seems to be why humans heal slower than other mammals. There was no significant difference in hairier mammals who healed over twice as fast. And finally, the premier environmental health journal, Environmental Health Perspectives, has stopped accepting new submissions. The Open Access Journal has relied on NIH funding to publish studies of the health effects of environmental toxins for over 50 years, and it isn't sure how it can move forward without the funding. And that's 60 seconds of science, Ken. Where would you like to go?
I want to know, does that fur report account for Italians? I don't think it does. And do we have any Italians in the audience who can testify to healing quicker? I got one friend that does. I'll ask Josh Makuga. I don't know. What's the most important on that docket, Ed? What should be the thing that I'm most excited for or worried about on the 60 seconds tonight?
The thing that I am most worried about two of these stories. I'm really worried about the journal story at the end, because it goes to one of the stories from last week where they issued that letter to a number of journals about publishing partisan scientific results, which is an oxymoron if you've ever heard one.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that the administration is going to censure a bunch of scientific, especially medical journals, for not
Yeah.
publishing both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
But this is especially like Environmental Health Perspectives is one of the most important journals in environmental research and environmental health research. And the work they have done on exposing how different chemicals and air pollution and all sorts of different things have an impact on human health, as the article that I read pointed out, this cutting of this funding really goes, like, to no surprise, it goes against what the administration is trying to tout. Like the idea that we're going to identify all these chemicals in food that are bad for you and we're going to make America healthy again. Like, studies that are published in Environmental Health Perspectives are what is going to do that. The scientists who publish in this journal are the scientists who are going to help you accomplish those goals. So cutting the funding of this journal and making it obsolete after over 50 years of providing open access, and open for those in the audience who don't know, an open access journal, you don't have to pay. There's no paywall. You, Ken Knapsack, could go online and read an article in Environmental Health Perspectives tonight, and you wouldn't have to have a subscription. You wouldn't have to work for a university with a subscription. Like, you could just access it.
Yeah.
And that is why they need the funding from the NIH. They don't charge authors to do it. They get funding from the NIH.
Yeah, so, and the thing that stands out to me in that, and again, I'll make jokes at my own expense of my intelligence level, but that if this is 50 years, right? A lot of what's going on, even in this administration, just overall, now that we're past the first 100 days, it's just the toppling of things like this that have been in place for a while, from the big to the small. And while, on the outside, I got some people in my life who are like, well, we need to topple these things. All right, fair. Maybe there's some things you look at, but it's this kind of stuff that gets trampled underneath that it will have effects on micro levels.
Yeah. Which, to the other point of the story, I don't know if this is the most important story, but it's the story that rings closest to things I care about, along with this journal story, is the story about the forever chemicals in the EPA. That shocked the hell out of me, quite frankly, because PFAS came online as a big problem during the Biden administration. I'm pretty sure was when we really started hearing about them. I had been hearing about them for a while, but the public started learning about them during the Biden administration. And Trump seemed hell bent on undoing anything Biden did. So the fact that they are acknowledging, caring about them at all. Now, some of the things that remain to be seen, there are drinking water limits that Biden set that they haven't said that have been challenged by the court, that the Trump administration has not said whether or not they're going to abide by and continue with the court challenge. The main thing here is that these chemicals are in the dastardly paper straws, so it goes to that. So
paper straws,
because they're in the dastardly paper straws.
Can't
these
have
chemicals come from anything that contains Teflon.
How many things contain Teflon?
Anything that contains Teflon. John Oliver did an entire episode on them like 2 years ago. I showed it to my students recently because we talked about PFAS in the class I was teaching. I don't have the time tonight to explain it. Go watch him. He did a great job.
As always.
Yeah, and the fact that they're going to continue doing this when they've eliminated 65% of their workforce. They've eliminated the research arm. They've cut all the grants of the people who do this research. Like it's all smoke and mirrors, and it sounds great, but I can't wait to see it actually happen.
All right. Okay. All right. I got nothing more on that other than I appreciate you, Addie, keeping tabs on this and translating what this actually really means. It's easy to get lost in the headlines. It's easy to get lost at either false hope or dashed hope. And I really respect you digging in your heels in the industry that you're in and the profession that you're in, and pushing on as best you can.